Good evening, Messiah, and welcome back to another edition of Falcon Update live on YBTV. I'm James Hellman.
And I'm Reed Milliken. This is our last show before spring break. Jamie, can you believe it?
You know, Reed, I can't. It has been a great first half of this semester here on campus, and especially for YBTV, but I would be lying if I didn't say I was looking forward to the week off.
I agree. We've put on some great shows on Monday nights here, but a week off does sound great. Continuing with our debate coverage, here's Paul Callender with your 2023 Student Body President candidates.
Campaign season has officially begun for the 2023 Student Body President and Vice President. On the ballot this year are two eager pairs looking to earn your vote.
My name is Moises.
My name is Ashley Glazer.
Hello, my name is Miralis Bermudez.
My name is Gabrielle Mitchell.
Ramirez and Glazer hope to incorporate their various leadership experience in their presidency.
I've been involved with MCC clubs. I was also in RA last year. I'm involved with Powerhouse. I'm the VP of Powerhouse this year. I'm also involved with student ministries, as well as a couple of other things. And this year, I also have the chance of serving as a SGA Vice President of Diversity Affairs.
So I was also involved with MCC last year. I was a Community Engagement Officer. This year, I'm currently the President of the Marketing Club. It's back in swing, so that's been really exciting.
And Bermudez currently serves as Vice President.
And so I get to run almost every other Monday a group of 85 students, student leaders of chartered and executive clubs. And there we get to accomplish a variety of things, maintaining GRCs for governance, as well as just producing and having students connect with administration through town halls.
Bermudez is hoping to move up the totem pole with Gabrielle Mitchell filling her shoes.
I am actually also on a SGA Executive Cabinet right now as the Vice President of Organizations, which allows me to really engage with student engagement directly.
With Bermudez currently in office, she hopes to continue some of her projects.
The university is running on a different timeline. In order to run efficiently, they're thinking 3 to 5 years in advance. And coming into SGA, especially this year, I've learned something about foresight and being the vision caster. So whether that means that I am completing these goals this year or laying the foundation for next year's cabinet is something that you have to always be in mind of.
And bring some new ideas to the table, such as a website listing club events.
Engagement looks like a variety of things, whether that's reconnecting clubs and students staying over in the weekend because there's nothing to do on campus. That means we need to equip them with the information so that they know what's going on campus, and mass emails aren't just going to do it.
And a program offering legal advice for students.
Penn State has legal advice and legal consultants for their students, funded by student activity fees. And it's something that I would like to research to have on campus as a resource for our students.
Another goal for Bermudez and Mitchell is to also be fiscally responsible with a student activities fee.
Being innovative allows you to be creative in your resources. So think about your student activity fees, so the way that we budget for clubs. We need to be good stewards about that. And you know, in the past we've had budget cuts, but really some of them aren't necessary, and that's because we need to be conscientious of how we're creating the club and how we're going to be managing it. So one thing is reviewing the finance, reviewing how we're going to distribute to clubs, and how we're also going to be managing it for the future.
Ramirez and Glazer see a lot of good on campus and hope to better direct students to resources.
We have already started conversations with people like Safety, who have a variety of different resources out there, but sadly we are not aware of them, and we want to bring to light those different resources that are out there.
Partnering with organizations is their strategy.
Like, we have amazing resources on this campus. For a small university, there's so much to offer. And there's many things that we think, like, relationships can be, like, restored, which can be cheesy with, like, the theme, but I think there is a lot of restoration, especially after COVID.
And both candidates' pairs expressed how their faith will impact their leadership.
It's been a process of learning how to channel God's confidence, His wisdom, His discernment, and intentionality with people. And allowing that to power me every Monday when I have to go to Senate from 6 to 8, being in a crowd of 80 people.
Everything should be like an inner working part, and that, like, yes, it is like a student leadership position, but that will be done through servitude and through like a faithful heart, and that it is like a mission to serve this campus.
Voting opens up immediately following the debate on February 28th at 7 p.m. and closes Friday, March 3rd at 11:59 p.m. For YBTV, I'm Paul Callender.
A new support has been formed on campus for students with physical and neurological disabilities. At these meetings, students are able to share their experiences and connect with others who have disabilities. Their meetings take place every first and third Thursday of the month in Boyer 138.
Migration was the topic of the Humanities Symposium lectures. There were many different guest speakers who talked about the issues that come from migration. Our own Kelly Gainey had the opportunity to talk about the lost tales of revolutionary freedom speakers. The lectures provided knowledge and information that is not otherwise widely known.
To end off Black History Month, the Black Student Union organized an opportunity for Black students to show off their talents at the We Matter Showcase. Caleb Kukin brings you the story.
The BSU We Matter Showcase. So the We Matter Showcase is basically a talent show type event that we host at the end of Black History Month every year. And so we have different Black students and students of color that come in and perform. And we do it at the end of February to celebrate Black History Month. So we have some students that are singing songs.
The spirit is moving and burning like a
So we have some that are reading poems. We have one guy that produces some music. And then one of our new things that we added is live art. So we're actually going to have different staff and students of color that create art. So whether that's as a hobby or as a major or minor, they're going to be showcasing their art in the downstairs union. So like when you walk in, it's going to be on the table or hanging on the wall. So it's different from Coffee House for a few different reasons. First off, we do it in February on a Saturday. So Coffee House is usually on Sundays, but to not like coincide, we do it on the Saturday. And then we also only have Black students or students of color perform. Just creating that safe space. That's, as MCC, that's our main goal, is creating a safe space for students, but then also helping them educate and advocate for the rest of the Messiah community. So we do that with them, and yeah, it's basically just like a big like compilation of like, here is our art, here is our other talents, here is our singing.
This week, I witnessed the latest on the hippest and flyest students on campus, the attendees of the a cappella club's Beatbox Workshop.
We're the Disco 3, better known as the Fat Boys, and we're about to perform one of our hit records called The Human Beatbox on New York Hot Tracks. Stick 'em! Stick 'em!
Bigoted beatboxing was the topic at hand for the a cappella club this last weekend, as they brought campus a beatbox workshop. Students with no experience could show up skillless and leave the illest, as beatbox professional Sean Ellis taught about the history of the art form, showed instructional videos, and led group exercises, all designed to refine your beatboxing skills. A cappella club founder and president Jacob Waddell talks about what the club hoped to accomplish with the event.
And we planned this event to have Sean Ellis come in. He's a beatboxer from Philadelphia. Having him come in, he's going to teach about the history of beatboxing, kind of where everything started, bring us all the way to where we are today, what the current beatboxing climate is like, and just what that culture is. And then after that, we'll have a workshop portion where everyone in the attendance will have a chance to learn how to make some basic sounds, how to do different patterns and stuff, and also see what that looks like combined with an a cappella club. So Perfect Unison a cappella will be here. Sean will demonstrate what it's like to beatbox with an a cappella group, and different people have a chance to try that out as well for themselves.
If you're intrigued by the contents of this event and want to learn to beatbox for yourself or get more involved with the a cappella club, you can follow them on Instagram at @MU_perfectunison for updates. For YBTV, I'm Reed Milliken.
Students with a knack for baking and creativity were given a chance to show off their talents at this week's cake decorating contest hosted by SAB. Competitors were given only an hour and a half to come up with the original design and complete their titillating treats. Upon completion, attendees were able to vote for their favorite cake and crown a conquering confection. The culinary artist behind these crafty concoctions delivered a close race, with designs including a basket and a pond.
Yeah, so personally growing up, I always really loved the Food Network and watching the different cooking and baking competitions. And with SAB, we try to integrate different aspects of popular culture into our events. So I thought that this could be really fun to try to bring a little bit of TV, reality TV show, if you will, to campus. And I think cake decorating is really fun and something that people can be creative with.
This unique event was a first for SAB, but proved to be a success. It was a fun opportunity for everyone involved, especially for the competing students, who got to show off their decorating talents, a talent they may seldom get to display.
A bunch of great stories we just covered for you. Coming up next, we have Falcon Forecast, the Vault, and more.
We will be right back with Falcon Update live on YBTV after the break.
A A student would want to study the finance major here at Messiah for several reasons. Students here are working and practicing in a setting in our finance lab with technology that they're going to use when they leave here and work in the field. And so our students are certified in Bloomberg. In addition, in several classes, our students are actually performing consulting projects with local financial and investing firms.
I think the biggest thing that surprised me about coming for the finance major here was just the scope that you get in all the different classes. So anything from corporate finance to portfolio management and security analysis, you touch on everything. Getting into investment club was something I really was looking forward to coming here to Messiah. I knew from very early on I wanted to get involved.
There's nothing wrong with going out, being successful, making money, but not allowing money to have a higher place in your life than God. So our goal is to get our students started off on their career path quicker and better positioned than any of their peers.
I'm Lily. I am a junior, and I am a broadcasting and media production major at Messiah. I chose to be a broadcasting and media production major because as a little girl, I dreamt of being a TV anchor. There are so many opportunities you can have as a broadcasting major. Messiah is really unique in the fact that we have our own TV station, and it's student-led, so each week we have Falcon Update, which is a half hour, and then we have MC Live, which is a half hour as well. My favorite part is just being in the hustle and bustle of everything, and I'm really excited to just be creative when I'm putting together news packages or shooting other stories, just really getting every element of storytelling in my work. So we have a lot of faith-based projects. Right now we're working on one, it's called Faith Sides for multimedia storytelling. In pairs, we're interviewing each other for 2 minutes about some aspect of faith. A lot of students from our major either intern at ABC 27 or WGAL. I shadowed one of my professors at a Hershey Bears game. The Bears are a local AHL hockey team, and through that experience I developed connections, and eventually I got a job there. So I run the Crossfire machine and the LEDs on game days. My freshman year at Messiah, when I first came, I knew absolutely nothing about broadcasting or media, and now I feel confident that I can go work at a TV news station.
Welcome back to Falcon Update. Reed, do you know the weather forecast for this week?
I don't, but do you know who does?
Josh
McCleve. Josh?
James, Reed, I try my best to give you guys an accurate forecast, and this is my third week doing it. And we've kind of started to see some similar trends here that I'll talk about over these past couple weeks that I'll kind of break down. But honestly, the weekend, it felt like February. We were a little chilly, winter chill on Saturday, and Sunday was pretty mild, all things considered. And the beginning of the day was too. It was a little bit sunny, not a ton of clouds, but that kind of changed as we got later in the day. About a good chance of rain right now. We saw some light drizzle earlier, and there's a good chance that will continue tomorrow into Tuesday morning. But we're in the 40s, which is seasonable for this time of year, a low of 36, so not dropping down below freezing, but all things considered, not bad temperature-wise besides some of that rain. Now we'll take a look at next week. And we see kind of the similar pattern of we start mild in the beginning of the week, and then we slowly increase, usually hit a peak on Thursday, and then cool down in the weekend. So temperature-wise, we are a little bit more consistent than we have been these past couple weeks. I think 2 weeks ago around Valentine's Day, we hit 60s at one point during that week. Last week we hit the 70s on Thursday. Doesn't look like we'll make it quite that high this coming week, so we're a little bit more condensed in terms of our temperature range, but there's nothing wrong with some consistency as we work our way into March. Tomorrow, again, that rain continuing in the morning. We hit a high of the 50s, and we do drop below freezing with a low of 29 as we kind of move through the morning and then later into the evening. But that rain goes away on Wednesday. We hit a high of 58, low of 43. Similar to with Thursday, no rain, pretty sunny, high of 58 and low of 33. But then Friday, here is the kicker. There's a good chance we might see a wintry mix in the morning, possibly some snow that you may see Saturday morning. Nothing that's going to accumulate, but that will shift into rain as we move into Friday night. And it does get cooler as well. Again, we kind of see that peak on Thursday, and then we shift into a cool down on Friday, going between 35 and 37 degrees. So just above freezing, a pretty small temperature range to give us there to work with. But again, The weekend will mild up as it has been this past several weekends. So if we take a look at Saturday and Sunday, a high of 45 and a low of 30, but that sun returns, not as many clouds, no rain, that winter mix is out of the way. And then we're a little bit warmer, but also a little bit cooler on Sunday as well. High of 46 and a low of 25. So again, we're a little bit more condensed here in terms of our temperatures than we have in the past few weeks, which is nice, but we're still seeing some of that diversity of 50s, 30s, 20s, all that. And that is a little bit more common as we work our way into March and kind of start to get into springtime. So you'll see some of that more diversity as we come in the next couple of weeks. But besides that, a little bit wet here, so keep an eye out for that winter mix coming up on Friday. And enjoy the spring break next week as well. I hope wherever you're going, the weather is pleasant there and you can have some time to relax and enjoy the great outdoors while you're off. So for the last Falcon forecast for maybe a week, 2, 3, who knows? I'm Josh McLeaf, sending it back to the desk.
Josh has forecasted quite a few things in the air for this upcoming week, but you know what else is in the air? Love. Come here often, James?
Yeah, I come to the studio quite a bit, but that forecast, he said it was going to rain today, and I had my raincoat prepared for the way to the studio, but it was actually quite nice out, just like the rest of the week's going to be. But hopefully, that Friday is not too bad.
Absolutely.
It's the last week before break, but a bunch is still happening on campus. Nate Harlacher brings you campus calendar. Nate?
Thanks, James. Welcome to this week's edition of Campus Calendar. I'm Nathan Harlacher. Let's take a look at some of the events happening around campus for the upcoming week. This Tuesday night, the SGA will be hosting its long-awaited debate night, live from the Larson Student Union from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Come to see the debate and conversation between your candidates for student body president and vice president. And then on Wednesday night, the BSU will be hosting Family Feud from 7 to 9 p.m. in the Larson Student Union. Come on out, not only to play, but to witness a friendly yet competitive game of Family Feud. Sign up on the Messiah Student Events calendar online. On Thursday night, the Increased Theology Club and the Office of Sustainability will team up to bring you Theology, a discussion of Christian stewardship of the earth and God's call for sustainability. The event is taking place at Fry 110 from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Come and join the conversation while enjoying a hot beverage free of charge. And on Friday, the women's basketball team will host the Bridgewater State Bears in the first round of the NCAA Division III tournament, live from Jordan Court at Hitchcock Arena, beginning at 7 p.m. Come on and cheer on your MAC Commonwealth champions before spring break. And then finally on Saturday, the men's lacrosse team takes on the Chatham Cougars on the lacrosse turf here at Messiah, beginning at 1 p.m. And that's a wrap for this week's edition of Campus Calendar. Make sure to come on out to see some of the events going on this week. For YBTV, I'm Nathan Harlacher.
Thanks, Nate. Hey, James, what are your spring break plans?
Well, Reed, I'm going to be working a little bit. I feel like a lot of college students do that. But I do have a little day trip planned to New York City with my mom for her birthday. We're going to be seeing a Broadway musical. But
nice.
What about you, Reed?
I'm thinking I'm just going to, throw my piggies up on the ottoman, put on a few telenovelas, and maybe drink a warm glass of milk, just enjoy the break. Anyway, Caden asks Messiah students what they're up to during their time off. Caden.
Hello, welcome back to Falcon on the Street, and today we are asking Messiah students what's their amazing spring break plans.
Over spring break, I'm going with the concert choir on tour. We have a bunch of different recitals in some schools and churches in the area, which I'm really excited for.
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna head home, recharge the batteries, hang out with some friends, and just be home with the fam.
Sleep and catching up on a lot of projects.
I'm going home first, and then I'm going to a media conference in New York City.
So, for my spring break, I am planning on going down to Florida with the Praying Pelican service mission through the Agape Center. So that's what I'll be doing for the week. We'll be leaving Friday and then getting back, I think, on Saturday or Sunday. So I'll be gone the whole week. Won't be seeing family or anything, but I think it'll be fun.
Okay, so during spring break, I'm probably just going to be spending time with my family and going to a work training.
Okay, so over spring break, I am going to Florida, and I'm actually taking an extra week off because I'm a senior, and, you get to do cool things like that. The first week, I'll be in the Tampa Bay area visiting my parents, and the second week, I'm going to go down south to Marco Island and visit my grandparents, so I'm looking forward to it.
Those were some great plans from our Messiah students. Hopefully they enjoy their amazing spring break. Well, I'm Caden Biles-Walker signing off of Falcon on the Street.
Kelly Gainey is back at the desk with more of The Vault. Kelly.
Welcome
Welcome back to The Vault, where I unlock Messiah's history 1 week at a time. As always, I'm Kelly Gainey. With NCAA tournament play on the horizon for women's basketball, reminds me of an old tournament that used to take place in New York State during the 80s. First noted in 1979, the Kings Tournament was the biggest tournament, and it features schools such as Messiah, King's College, Eastern Nazarene College, Houghton College, and New York Alliance University. Different than any other tournament, the Kings Tournament featured the sports of basketball, volleyball, table tennis, cross country, chess, bowling, and with an all-tournament category. In 1982, Messiah finished second overall in the Kings Tournament to Houghton College. The most successful teams that year would be bowling and volleyball. The next year, Messiah would make a victorious comeback, claiming 5 trophies. Trophy 1 went to the basketball team, featuring star Mike Miller, who would be named to the all-team tournament. Trophies 2 and 3 will be brought home by the Messiah table tennis teams. The bowling team would strike hard and claim a trophy as well, and as the volleyball team claiming the victory for the final trophy. For the tournament of '83, Messiah's teams would rack up over 270 points and winning it all at long last. That's all for this week. Make sure to tune in next week for when I unlock the vault.
Up next, we'll have PJ and Brandon bring you the latest in sports.
We'll be right back with more.
I grew up creative, always drawing, Legos, played a ton of Legos from the time I could start putting them together. When I got into school, I thought I was going to be a painter, and then I thought I was going to be a graphic designer, but it wasn't until I took my first foundations of art class, 3D design, where I was carving a salt block, just a little carpenter chisel, and I stuck it underneath the water, and it kind of started deteriorating, and I loved it, and it felt comfortable, and it felt right, and that's when I realized that 3D is where I belong. Sculpture is what I needed to pursue. If you feel that passion in your belly, if you wake up and you got to make something, if you grab the paper clip and you manipulate it into some form, or you're doodling in your sketchbook, or everything you do you see through a more creative side, then listen to that spirit talking in you and follow it. And for that young artist, it's hard and it's difficult, but you got to just keep on doing it. You got to just keep on doing it. We were all there. We want to hang out with you. We want you to look over our shoulder and watch us cut this piece. Ask us that question. Don't be scared. Everybody has that starting point.
Welcome back to Falcon Update, live here on YBTV. It's time for us to talk sports. Here to bring you the latest, I'm Brandon Cruz.
And I'm PJ Rydell. It's always a great time to be a Falcon, but this weekend that was especially true as we had a number of crucial playoff performances, starting with wrestling. As a host of Falcons made their way to the NCAA regionals on Friday and Saturday. After a hard-fought tournament in York, including a 4-3 nail-biter to clinch, Messiah's Zach Needles stands alone as the lone Falcon to compete in the national tournament. This season, we'll see Needles back in action on the weekend of March 10th in Roanoke, Virginia, competing for the national championship.
Messiah's track teams competed in the Indoor MAC Championship this weekend, and the Falcons brought home plenty of hardware. The men's team claimed the championship, their first title since 2009. Leading the way for the men, Logan Horst was named the MAC Athlete of the Year, and right along with him was Rookie of the Year Luca Fetter. At the helm, Dale Fogelsanger earned another Coach of the Year title, as he helped lead the men to the title and the women to a strong 5th place finish.
A strong weekend all around, and we're not done talking about championships here just yet. Your Messiah women's basketball team earned the 2023 MAC Commonwealth Championship this weekend too, and it's in that championship game that will kick off this week's Falcon 4. As we head to the court, the 3 by Wessels won't go, and the tough rebound for Megan Zimmerman finds Reese Harden, and the Falcons in transition. Harden lets it fly right to Morgan Adams underneath to dish it in off the glass. Take a look at the replay there again. Right through the traffic, and Adams up off the glass for the Falcons. Zimmerman, who got the tough rebound, would be named the tournament MVP, as she led the team with 14 points in the win over Alvernia for the conference title. That won't be our last highlight, though, from the championship game.
It certainly won't be, but first let's head down to Virginia, where the men's lacrosse team would pick up a snowy win over Marymount. Here in the third quarter, Messiah down a couple goals, looking to regain some momentum as Chad Tereski attacks, puts it in despite taking a lot of contact. As we see it here again, attacking aggressively and gets knocked down, but it doesn't matter as he finds the back of the net. And Messiah would eventually complete the comeback and win this one 15-9. For Tereski, he finished the game with 5 goals and 9 points on the day, earning MAC Offensive Player of the Week. The team is 2-1 and faces King's College next on Wednesday.
Now for the women's lacrosse team, they had just one game this past week, but it could hardly have been a bigger one. Going up against Gettysburg College, who the Falcons have never beaten before, Messiah was ready to change that narrative. Here, Rachel Delt hands off to Haley Latinga. Latinga, the first year, back and forth, left, right, and into the back of the net to put the Falcons up 4-0. There's Latinga, a little bit of shake and bake action on the defender. The patience pays off for Latinga, puts the Falcons up 4-0. Latinga's patient goal would be 1 of 2 for her against Gettysburg, as the Falcons earned the 10-6 win in their first home game of the season. They're in action next against Franklin and Marshall.
As promised, we've got one more highlight for you from the Women's Basketball Conference Championship, this time coming thanks to some crafty moves by Amber High. Pretty standard inbound play here. Milanese gets it to Megan Zimmerman, who finds Morgan Adams, who finds Amber High, who drives, completely faking out the Alvernia defender for the score. As we see it again, a little bit of trickery here. High gets the Alvernia defender to switch over to Morgan Adams, and Amber High finishes the layup. The Falcons dominated Alvernia 60-37 in the title game, claiming their 7th consecutive championship and 16th championship in program history. They'll next look to the NCAA tournament starting on Friday.
Starting on Friday, and it'll be here at home on Jordan Court in Hitchcock Arena. I'm certainly looking forward to how they'll fare in the tournament, as I'm sure you are too. I know both of us are at nearly every basketball game here at Messiah. But there's someone who's been to far more games than we all have, in fact, dating all the way back to the 1940s. A man by the name of Morris Shirk has been a lifelong basketball fan here at Messiah, and I've had the pleasure of talking with him at almost every home game this season. Here's a look at the story of lifelong fan Mr. Morris Shirk.
It's game time in Hitchcock Arena, and you can count on one loyal fan to be here. For Morris Shirk, a 1949 Messiah Bible College graduate,
I'm only 96.
Very little can stop him from being a part of Messiah basketball, as he's been attending games.
I suppose since they developed a varsity and started playing other schools. So I've been attending a long time.
Part of what keeps him coming back is his group of friends that always sits together in the same seats.
There are 2 guys that sit with me, and it's up at the top, so we have a good view.
But Shirk's passion for Messiah basketball began back in his college days.
See, when I was here, I played basketball. But at that time, they didn't have a varsity that plays other schools. We'd play other pickup teams and maybe some church teams and that type of thing.
And as for the position that he played?
I was backward, but I played forward.
While Shirk loves the game of basketball in general, the success of Messiah's women's team is particularly worth the price of admission for him.
Well, they're just good. They're a good team. I just enjoy watching basketball games.
Women's basketball head coach Mike Miller can confirm Shirk has been loyally supporting Messiah basketball since he played for the men's team in the early 1980s.
He was in the gyms watching me play as a player here at Messiah.
Even now in 2023, Miller still has Shirk's support in his 37th season as head coach.
It's a tangible reminder of that we are more than just a basketball team, that we do represent Christ, and we need to continue to work hard maintaining that concept of playing for Christ, and seeing people like Morris in the stands helps us do that.
Well, as hard as we try, I'm just not sure any of us can be quite as dedicated as Mr. Shirk, but we certainly do try our best here on YBTV Sports.
Yes, we do, and that does it for YBTV Sports and tonight's Falcon Update, but don't go anywhere just yet. We've still got YB Tonight, and you won't want to miss it. Stay right here on YBTV.
Forests bring people together, feed the soul, and improve our well-being, cleaning the water we need, the air we breathe, and making our climate livable. Fires and natural disasters devastate our forests each year. That's why the Arbor Day Foundation is working to replant millions of trees across the country. Visit arborday.org and see how you can help.
Yes. Oh, hi. I suppose you're wondering what an A-list celebrity like me is doing in a place like this. You must know, I'm saving the world. Oh, hi, Beth. Yep, saving the world again. Did you know that 40% of all the food produced in the United States is thrown away? That means everything that went into that food, the pesticides, the water, the land, was all for nothing. Just look at this perfectly good food thrown in the trash. The pizza with extra Cheerios, these goldfish and Band-Aid tacos. And just look at this perfect trash burger. This pasta dog looks delicious.
You don't have to dumpster dive like Ed Begley Jr. to save the planet. Fight food waste by shopping smart and using what you buy before it gets trashed.
That's way better. Ooh, arugula.
Good evening and welcome to YB Tonight. I'm your host, Noah White. Tonight we'll be interviewing Hayward Smith Cassidy about Messiah's very own swing dance club. And after that, we'll be featuring Alden Walker, and he will be playing the guitar and singing for us. But before we go to commercial, let's take a look at this week's Beyond the Breaches, where we take a trip to Zambia with a nursing major.
Jared Dietrich, a senior nursing major, recently returned from his time in Zambia, where he got to experience working in a hospital in a whole new setting with limited resources. Here's what he had to say about his experience.
Yeah, so it was all part of one of the courses we take as senior nursing students is called Global Populations and Community Health, which is a very long title. But essentially for that class, for our clinical experience, we are supposed to learn about sort of just community health and how you do health in a non-traditional sense of the hospital in America. So we either had the option of staying local and working with homeless shelters or food banks, etc., or we had the opportunity to go abroad to Zambia. So we were there to learn how to do healthcare in a different lens. In 4 hours, I would normally in the US see maybe 1 surgery, but in 4 hours I got to see 9 surgeries. It's not about how many resources you have as much as like what you personally do with the resources. So resources are a huge blessing. They save lives, they make a difference, and we should always be pushing for them. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be the nurse who has X amount of resources, and I get to do what I can with them. Because in the States, with tons of resources, I've seen people be lazy and I've seen people work really hard. And over there, a lot less resources, I saw people be lazy and I saw people work really hard. So I think it was really cool just like realizing that for me personally, it's about how I use those resources that I have at my disposal. And where I have grown up is how rushed just our healthcare system is. Our general flow of life is just very fast, we're very punctual, we're very on time, which has its benefits, especially in healthcare. It's great to be able to move things fastly, but yeah, having a 10 to 15 minute walk every morning to the hospital is interesting.
A lot can be gained from immersing yourself in a whole new setting, as Dietrich has learned from his time in Zambia. For Beyond the Breaches, I'm Jessica Fannin.
We don't want our students to feel like they have to wait until they've graduated to start serving and meeting the needs of society. So we want students to have an opportunity to work on projects that meet real needs even while they're students in the program. Messiah students are exciting to work with because they understand that God has uniquely gifted them to do something, and they're excited to follow Him in that and to follow Him in their careers.
One of my best moments as a student here at Messiah was when I was traveling to Mexico with a collaboratory.
The collaboratory's business model is that it pairs student teams with either faculty mentors or outside professionals to work on systems that either care for the earth or help disadvantaged people around the world.
I learned so many amazing things about just cultural differences and how to adapt and work alongside, not just how to help someone else, but how to empower them to further their lives and also advance my academics in the process. So that is by far one of my favorite memories from Messiah.
Welcome to YB Tonight. I'm Noah White, and I'm joined by Hayward Smith Cassidy, the Public Relations Manager of the Swing Dance Club. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I can't complain. So tell me a little bit about the Swing Dance Club.
So the Swing Dance Club is, of course, a club of plenty of different people that come from all around Messiah, and they come and practice and learn lessons through our instructor who comes in. Her name's Randy, absolutely amazing person. She comes in every Wednesday from 8:30 to 9:30 and teaches us swing dance, of course.
There you go. And what inspired you to join the club?
So I had a friend that was a part of the club, and my freshman year when everything was all kind of weird and wonky, I was like, what could I possibly do later on? And then my friend introduced me to swing dance. I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. So eventually I was like, this is a challenge for me as well because it's a different type of dancing than what I'm used to because I'm a riot at parties. But at the same time, I was like, how could I get into something that's new and fresh but still like a lot of fun? So swing dance was like a partner kind of dance, and I wasn't used to that at all. And I was very intrigued by the idea of like me kind of leading the dance without it being choreographed.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, swing dancing makes you even more of a riot at the party now.
Oh, for sure.
What have been your most memorable experiences with the Swing Dance Club so far?
I think my most memorable instances with the Swing Dance Club has been when we've actually gone to Dickinson College as well. And so they have something called the Swing Riot, which is an annual event. And so last year, we actually decided to go over there, hang out with them, see how it was going. And it was actually very intriguing to see how another swing dance club interacts and works together. So us being a part of that and like kind of combining the two different swing dance clubs was actually a lot of fun.
Like a swing dance workshop, you would say?
Yeah, no, pretty much. And they also had a band come in and play as well. So it was like live music, everybody was dancing, having a good time. Even like
the old, the young, even the college students, of course. It was all around a good time.
Well, swing dancing's for everybody, Hayward.
True that.
What have been some of the fun events that the Swing Dancing Club has done so far this year?
So this year, so far, we have done the Valentine's Day Ball, which is an event that we held last Saturday. That one was a whole lot of fun. We actually had somebody making Shirley Temples there too, and they were delicious. Alongside of that, I think that's primarily like the dance that we've had for like this semester. We are planning on hosting another event later on and actually partnering with Dickinson one more time. So can't wait for that to happen.
There you go. And Messiah is obviously all about community, as you know. How has the Swing Dance Club impacted the community?
I think the way that the Swing Dance Club has impacted the community is especially the different people that come in and they see, oh, it's also something that they want to get into. You know, it adds another kind of hobby per se. And so a lot of different students, even soccer players, actually come in as well, and they swing dance with us as well. And a majority of the community is also engineers. So you never really know who you're going to expect. So I think the effect that we've had on the community has been something like another place for people from all around to come together and like get to know each other, maybe in like a kind of close quarters fashion, but it's still a good time.
Yeah, from engineers to soccer players, you never know. It sounds like who you're going to get there.
Oh yeah, trust me, we never really know, but it's a lot of fun.
And obviously you mentioned the event coming up with Dickinson, but are there any other future events being planned right now for the Swing Dance Club?
Not currently this semester, not just yet, but I'm glad to keep you updated on that.
All right, well, Hayward, thanks again for joining us, and the Swing Dance Club sounds like a lot of fun here on campus and a cool way to spend your time. So don't go anywhere. We're going to go to a short break, and afterwards we will have a musical performance from Alden Walker. We'll be right back.
My name is Arkel Brown. I am a senior communication major here at Messiah. Within our community, honestly, it's like one big family. Everyone relies on each other to get certain projects done. You know you can depend on other people within the communications department. Throughout the years, my skill set has completely evolved. I was actually able to do color commentating for the men's basketball last season, so it was pretty fun. I take pride in these extracurricular programs. I am the student assistant basketball coach for the women's basketball team. This year is my 4th year working. They've really become another family here for me on campus, and it just made me adapt so easily. And basketball is something I've always loved, so it was natural. The interactions between professors and students here are amazing, honestly. I couldn't ask for any better interactions with my professors. They're so caring, they're so loving, they're generous, and they're always open to anything you have to say or any questions that you have. They really want to be there for you. My Christian faith is everywhere in the classes, whether it's being through prayer before classes or having devotion. It's always tied in with our Christian faith. Like, we have to be honest. We have to know we have to keep God first in every situation and know that without God, we wouldn't even have the opportunity to be where we are. It definitely keeps us grounded. And I think Messiah has taught me so much about myself within the communication department as how I relate to people, how people relate to me. We understand each other's differences. And I think I'll be ready for the real world once I graduate.
Welcome back to YB Tonight. I'm currently here with Alden Walker. Alden, take it away.
Caffeine, small talk, wait out the plastic weather. Discussing current events. I take my time. I'm not the forward thinker. You read my mind. Better to leave it unsaid. Why can't I leave it unsaid? You know I talk too much. Honey, come put your lips on mine and shut me up. We could blame it all on human nature. Stay cool, it's just a kiss, so why you gotta be so talkative? I talk too much, we talk too much. I type, tightrope across the table. I can't keep holding my breath. New wave, no time. Red velvet under pressure. Blah blah. Green eyes, I can't just leave it unsaid. Why can't I leave it unsaid? You know I talk too much. Honey, come put your lips on mine and shut me up. We could blame it all on human nature. Stay cool, it's just a kiss, so why you gotta be so talkative? I talk too much, we talk too much. Silence is golden, you got my hopes up. We talk too much. No hesitation, what are we waiting for? You know I talk too much. Honey, come put your lips on mine and shut me up. We could blame it all on human nature. Stay cool, it's just a kiss, so why you gotta be so talkative? I talk too much, we talk too much. Too much, we talk too much. We talk too much. We talk too much. We talk too much. All right, this next song is actually, I consider it to be like my favorite song of all time. Like, gorgeous song, super well written. It's Carolina in My Mind. In my mind, I'm gone to Carolina. Can't you see the sunshine? I said, can't you just feel the moon shining? Ain't it like a friend of mine to hit me from behind? And I'm gone to Carolina in my mind. Karen, she's a silver sun. You best walk away and watch her shine. Watch her watch the morning come. A silver tear appearing now. I'm crying, ain't I? And I'm gonna Carolina in my mind. There ain't no doubt in no one's mind that love's the finest thing around. Whisper something soft and kind. And hey babe, the sky's on fire. I'm dying, ain't I? And I'm gonna Carolina in my mind. In my mind, I'm gonna Carolina. Can't you see the sunshine? I said, can't you just feel the moon shining? Ain't it like a friend of mine to hit me from behind? And I'm gonna Carolina in my mind. Dark and silent late last night, I think I might have heard the highway call. Geese in flight and dogs that bite. A sign that might be the omen, say that I'm going, and I'm gonna Carolina in my mind. With the holy host of others standing around me, still I'm on the dark side of the moon. And it seems like it goes on like this forever. You must forgive me. sunshine. I said, can't you just feel the moon shining? Ain't it like a friend of mine to hit me from behind? And I'm going to Carolina in my mind. Oh, I'm going to Carolina in my mind. Oh, I'm going to Carolina in my mind. Say nice things about me when I'm gone. You'll have to carry on without me when I'm gone. Oh, I'm going to Carolina in my mind. Oh, I'm going to Carolina in my mind.
Wow, Alden, that was amazing. I really enjoyed your performance. But hey, don't go anywhere because we'll be right back after a short break to talk to Alden about his musical experience.
My name is Arkel Brown. I am a senior communication major here at Messiah. Within our community, honestly, it's like one big family. Everyone relies on each other to get certain projects done. You know you can depend on other people within the communications department. Throughout the years, my skill set has completely evolved. I was actually able to do color commentating for the men's basketball last season, so it was pretty fun. I take pride in these extracurricular programs. I am the student assistant basketball coach for the women's basketball team. This year is my 4th year working with them. They've really become another family here for me on campus, and it just made me adapt so easily. And basketball is something I've always loved, so it was natural. The interactions between professors and students here are amazing, honestly. I couldn't ask for any better interactions with my professors. They're so caring, they're so loving, they're generous, and they're always open to anything you have to say or any questions that you have. They really want to be there for you. My Christian faith is everywhere in the classes, whether it's being through prayer before classes or having devotion. It's always tied in with our Christian faith. Like, we have to be honest. We have to know we have to keep God first in every situation and know that without God, we wouldn't even have the opportunity to be where we are. It definitely keeps us grounded. And I think Messiah has taught me so much about myself within the communication department, as how I relate to people, how people relate to me. We understand each other's differences. And I think I'll be ready for the real world once I graduate.
You're watching Falcon Update on YBTV.
Welcome back to YB Tonight. I'm Noah White and joined by Alden Walker, here to talk about his musical skills. Alden, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right, thanks. I'm so excited to be here. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, those are some great songs that you played for us, and I just want to know what was behind that and why you chose to sing those songs specifically.
I mean, the first song, that's one of my favorite songs. I heard it I heard it again last year during the Spring Fling dance, actually, and I was obsessed with it after that. Like, it's just like such a fun pop song, and I made it like more of an acoustic version because it's, you know, a one-man band with me sometimes. So, yeah, that was fun to like make my own. And then for the James Taylor piece, that's just, like I said, that's like my favorite song of all time. So I like to perform it as much as I can. It's like a back pocket song for me. So yeah, it's just fun.
Yeah, and you mentioned the James Taylor song. I assume he had to have been an influence to you. So like, when did you know that music was what you wanted to do with your life?
I mean, I grew up in a very musical family. My mom's a choir teacher, my dad's a pianist, my sister is a theater major here, so we all do music, and yeah, so I kind of just, that whole home environment was very nurturing to that, and I guess I really never thought about like trying anything else. I mean, I was exposed to other things, but nothing else made me as excited and as passionate as music did. So probably from a very young age was when I knew.
And yeah, that's awesome that you had so many great influences and your family supporting you all the way through. So like, what's been your proudest moment so far in your musical career?
Man, I mean, I do theater a lot, so some of my proudest moments are like when we, like the feeling of like completing a show and like, you know, just being with all of like the castmates and like knowing that you put on like something super duper cool. That's like one of my favorite parts of music is musical theater. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So just combining like two things you love. So
Exactly.
I assume you like acting as well.
I do. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's one person that has transformed your outlook and how you aim to create music?
Just one. I mean, I would say, I mean, James Taylor is obviously such an influence, but people like John Mayer, people like Michael Jackson, band like the 1975 are like some of my favorite people to really like look at how they make their craft and see how unique they are, because like those names I just said, like they're all so different in how they make music. I like to really like see how people do their own music so well and take little pieces of each and try to make it my own, you know?
Yeah, that's awesome. Is there like a specific genre you prefer to perform, or you kind of like it all?
I like it all. I mean, I think the things I'm most comfortable with are things like folk and acoustic music, but I'm in the jazz band here. I just played like a funk thing a couple nights ago at the Union, so I like all kinds of music, so whenever I can be exposed and play a different kind, I will take the opportunity.
That's awesome. Well, thanks so much, Alden. That's going to be it for tonight's episode of YBTV. Thanks for watching, and tune in next Monday at 7 for more. On behalf of myself and the entire YBTV crew, have a great week, Messiah University.